Hello and a huge welcome to Morning Tea with me, Kel Bell. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to our fourth live session this week as we dive into all things PDHP here in New South Wales. So if you are a busy primary teacher, a busy high school teacher, then it is time for us to really feel empowered by what we are doing here in New South Wales, and it's our opportunity to reimagine what PDHP looks like in primary schools and in high schools. Today we're going to unpack some powerful tools that I would love for you to share, that I'd love to share with you around assessment. Now, I said this last night on our live session with our registrants for our PDHP week that I love assessment. It is my absolute thing. It really lights me up. I could write assessments. Like if that was just my job, I would be very happy. I love thinking that big picture, beginning with the end in mind, and they're really important things for us to consider when we're actually planning our assessment. So I think for a lot of the time, one of the challenges for teachers is the lack of time that we have to prepare, and often we're scrambling, we're kind of doing things at the last minute, or maybe that was just me in the classroom, I don't know. Scrambling at the last minute and going, okay, where does this fit with everything? But if we stand back and think about the big picture, think about that backwards mapping, that backwards design. McTee and Wiggins, they are kind of really founders in backwards mapping and backwards design. And they really used Stephen Covey's begin with the end in mind quote all through their literature, all through their writing and their approach to teaching. So beginning with the end in mind, thinking about what's ahead, thinking about the big picture is really, really important in schools. We need to think like, where is this all going? What is the actual purpose of what I'm doing with this particular assessment task? Because I think for too long, we're scrambling, we're struggling for time. We throw something together and go, actually, that didn't hit the mark. That was too easy for the kids, or that was too creative. That's not actually assessing what I really, at the core of it, want to assess my students with. So the tool that I'd love to share with you guys is a backwards mapping tool to help you think, like, where am I actually going? What's the big picture? Where does this all fit within each other? I want you to take that time with your assessment tasks and think big picture. Now, if you're thinking, Kel, that's all well and good, like you have the time now, you're not in the classroom, that's what the membership is going to include. It's going to include backwards mapping, documents, assessment tasks that are done for you, because we're thinking about what the whole grand plan is, the whole end game with this. So for primary schools, it's not about NAPLAN, unfortunately. With PDHP, of course, we can embed literacy skills. That was a highlight in our brand new syllabus, that literacy has to be embedded, it has to be explicit. But we're thinking about the big picture. What are we actually trying to get the kids to do? And I think for a really long time, our assessments have been very surface level. And what I mean by that, it's actually not requiring the kids to think deeply. That's why when tools like AI, ChatGPT come in, kids can just go, I can Google that stuff. What are the 5 principles of training, or what are some coaching styles, or what is the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating? There's an answer that they can Google, that they can put into ChatGPT, spits out an answer. It's not requiring them to do that deep thinking. And that's why we're getting stuck, because especially with the high school kids, they're smart. They're using ChatGPT to basically do their assessment for them. It's not getting them to think deep. It's not getting them to think the big picture. And when we think about it, all those 5 propositions that are embedded into our PDHP syllabus, the educative purpose, a strengths-based approach, that critical thinking, that critical inquiry, it's not hitting the mark because it's just at that surface level. And look, I've been there, done that. Look, and I know that teachers are busy. I'm not getting on my high horse and saying like, you should be doing this. But if we just had the time back, then I think things would change a little bit and we could use those tools at our disposal. Now, inside our CAFS not our CAFS, in our CAFS membership, it certainly is in there, in our K to 6 and our 7 to 10 PDHP memberships, you'll see resources and templates to help you backwards map your assessment tasks as well. You'll also see assessment tasks done for you that are really thinking that big picture, beginning with the end in mind. And I am a lover of technology. Hopefully you know that by now, but I love technology, and I think we can use things like ChatGPT to help us. I think we can definitely use, there's so much out there at the moment. You know, there's some really great tools, and we had a whole conversation on our podcast with our guest a couple of weeks ago around those AI tools in schools that we can actually use to our advantage. So I think it's really important for us to sit back and go, okay, how can I work smarter with this? How can I really think about the big picture? And what are some ways I can assess my kids that is going deeper, that doesn't just get them to chat GPT it? And it's really important to leverage off the tools we have at our disposal. The AI tools that are out there, like at a surface level, like Google Drive, like love it. I'm not a OneNote person, so Google Drive is my favorite. And our memberships will have resources inside Google Drive where you can go, okay, thanks Lyndall, thanks Nat, thanks Kel, I'm going to change this, tweak it, love it, use it straight away in the classroom. Google Forms has really good AI functionality where you can use like multiple choice questions for our high school kids, or quick surveys with the kids on certain things like what sports they play outside of school, so you can then use that into your you know, movement skill stuff. There's so much that is, you know, really accessible, and obviously there are lots of AI tools specifically for education that we can use to really help with that. So hopefully you know, we're starting to become more confident and comfortable with the AI tools around us, but also creating and generating assessment tasks that aren't at that surface level that the kids can then Google or use ChatGPT to do for them. So if you have loved what you've been hearing, thinking about that bigger picture, reimagining PDHP, our kindergarten to year 6 membership is now open for registration, and we would love to help you plan out your primary approach to PDHP either next year or the year after, if you're implementing it then. Obviously it's going to be over time. We can't just do it all at once. That's why our membership is starting to gather our registrations now, so we can help you in the background, help you plan and prepare as you go through this this stage. And same for high school. High school PDHP, you know, we don't have the time. There's so many other things happening in high schools. Similar situation to primary PE. It either gets lumped on one person, you know, the head teacher, the coordinator's doing everything. We really want you guys to reclaim your time inside our membership. So the learnnet.com/PDHP is where you can head to check out all the details. It is a 12-month membership for schools, and everyone at your school has access to that particular membership. So if you have SLSOs, or if you have, you know, people job sharing, casual staff coming in, they can access everything literally at their fingertips with their login to access all the goodies that we are starting to develop for PDHP here in New South Wales for both primary and high school. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me for Morning Tea with KB. I'll be back next week, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. But if you would love any details about the memberships, head to theloathe.com/PDHP. Thanks so much, guys. Have the best arvo. Take care.